choice first. Just a drone thing. I just thought I'd do like an impromptu in the dark drone. I should probably put the lights on, but I'm not gonna. Well, hi Martin. It's not going to be very good, I'm afraid. I just thought, oh, I like this drone he had going on. I thought I'll broadcast it. Just see what happens. Got a couple of new modules today. Got some expert sleepers modules. Can you hear me okay, by the way, on this new mic of mine? Just looking at the levels on OBS. Yeah, so yeah, this is no good really, is it? Totally dark. Hiya Mark. Hey up Will. Yeah, this so I got 3 expert sleepers modules. I got a Lorelei, which is the oscillator, and hey up Klaus, and I also got 2 Evo or Ivo filters, spelt I-V-O. I don't know how to pronounce that. And so I was playing around with this earlier. I'm already wired up, as you can see, so and I just thought, I'll stick it on YouTube and see what happens. Didn't expect anyone to turn up, to be honest, but look, here's everyone turning up. I tell you what, I'll put the, let me put the, not the big light. It's just, let's have a look, see what this does. That's probably a little bit too bright now. Let's just take this down a little bit. I can have this on colour as well, actually. This is one of my coloured lights. Let's see what that looks like. With my little remote control for the light there. Yeah, so I suppose I should at least try to describe the patch that I've got going on through all these cables. It didn't actually take me long. What I did do with these are my 2 distinct Mark IIIs, and these have been on 4D, which is the wave shaping oscillator, for ages. And I'm just trying these on the 4C oscillator now, which is an oscillator with FM. And output A is a sine wave. It's a pure sine wave. But 4C also it accepts FM. So I've got both distings, both doing FM. So the first disting has got some FM coming from an attenuated LFO from my Ornaments and Crime. So that's doing a little bit of that's doing a little bit of FM on input Y, and then the output A, which is the sine wave, albeit FM'd, going into the Y or the FM input of my second Mark III, and then the output of that is going to one of the inputs on the Ivo. Let's call it Ivo for now. Now, the good thing about the Ivo is, well, there's a lot of good things about it, I suppose, but one feature it's got is you can put 2 inputs into it, and the normal input is just the input, and it's whatever level comes out of the module, and then the second input has an attenuator on it, so you can attenuate the level if you wish. So I've just pulled that back a little bit, and so that's on one of the Ivos. Now, what I've also got on the first Ivo is I've got a Batumi, one of the Batumi LFOs into the cutoff level, which is attenuated. You've got two cutoff inputs. One which is just straight unattenuated and just does the full sweep on the cutoff frequency. But I've got it into the attenuated LFO. Yeah, so that's just pulled back a little bit of the sweep on the cutoff frequency. And then I've got another Batumi LFO output into the feedback level, which is, again, that is attenuated. You don't have any choice against about that, but that's okay. That's not a problem at all. So I'm not fully. That's only about 2.5 on the little scaly thing. Yeah. So that's that first Ivo, and then the second one is. Oh, sorry. Sorry, still on the first Ivo. I just remembered because I'm using both inputs on this. So the other input is the Lorelei oscillator. And I've got, excuse me, well, I'm using, there's 3 outputs on this. The first output is a wave-shaped pulse. The second output is a wave-shaped, I think it goes from, I'm not sure, I think it's, sine. It goes from a sine wave to a triangle, I think, and then the third output goes from a sine to a roughly a sort of a ramp shape or a saw. So I'm using the middle one. This goes into the straight input. And what else have we got? So I've got a little bit of LFO on the shape, and I've attenuated it, so that's got the shape being changed over time. And what I've also got is my duff. I've got this is a duff of this. It won't track anymore, and I've tried to change it and tune it on the pots at the back, and I just can't get it sorted. So I put this on drone duty, provided it doesn't go too much out of tune. But it just, what I've got is I've got the sine output. It's not a true sine, it's an approximation, I think, on the Dopefers. It's the A1101. That's going to the linear FM input of the Lorelei, and that's probably what's doing all the pitch changes. Are you still with me? Hello, hello, chat. What have I missed? Anything? Sound. Okay. So that's the first. So it's basically the 2 distinct Mark IIIs. One is FMing the other, and the Lorelei, which is also being FM'd. They're both into the first Evo, whatever. Then the second Evo is taking. I've set up the. Well, I've left the two distinct Mark IVs on B8, which is the equivalent of 4D on the Mark IIIs. It's the BCO with wave shaping, and I'm taking an output from A on the first Mark IV and the output from B on the second Mark IV. So let's see if I can remember this correctly, because I always get this wrong. I think A is a triangle that shapes to ramp, and then B is a square or pulse wave. So it's a yeah, it goes from narrow pulse to square to narrow pulse as it shapes. And I've got, this time I'm using an output from the, I've got the ornament and crime set up into it's set up in a quad LFO mode at the minute. I can't remember which algorithm that is, but it's pretty much stuck on that algorithm because I just like LFOs. And so each of those outputs goes into the two inputs of the second Ivo. And again, I've got LFO on the cutoff and LFO on the feedback. All different speeds, all doing this sort of thing, which is, yeah, I'll probably record this afterwards. Can I ask you a question then about the mic? Sorry to go back on about the mic. I don't know whoever caught the Saturday stream, which is probably most of the people here actually, apart from perhaps Martin. Yeah, I had the lav mic or the lapel mic, whatever you want to call it. I had it, if you remember, I had it clipped to my clothing, and it was rustling a lot. So what I've done now is I've actually put the lav mic. I don't know, you'll wait till the GoPro camera comes along. So I'm just pointing now. That is where I've stuck the lav mic, just on the just at the top of the left ear pad of the headphone. And so what I'm hoping is, and look at the levels, it seems to be okay. And I'll check this back later. That's another reason for doing this, is I can double check the sound all together with the drone and me chatting away, just to see what it's like. And yeah, so I can improve my stream over time. It'll get better, hopefully. So, well, I suppose I could. Well, we've got a few here now. I could add another channel. Yeah, cheers, Klaus. Thanks. Try add another drone from somewhere. Yeah. Not use the. Let's have a look at this. There's something on here called the Dream Machine. Let's have a shufty at that. Okay, let's set up an input on Reaper. Just bear with us. This will probably be a complete disaster because I should stop using things that I've hardly ever used. Yeah, the Dream Machine, it's a little bit odd, but it's supposed to be good for drones, and I should really try to get the hang of it. So let's see what happens. I'll go into this third input here. Hey up, Davy. I'm not too sure which output. Let's see what that does. Oh, I see. See, this lets a wavetable. Interesting. So let's try one of these. Let's try that one. So this is the so-called Dream Machine. Oops, wrong one. And you can do all sorts of stuff with this. I haven't got a zoomed in camera on this one, so what else have we got? What can we do on here? Prime. I'm not even going to try and explain what these do because I have no idea. What's the frequency of C2? Save me looking it up on the interwebs, and I'll tune this into C. So at the moment it's about 58.28. Which actually doesn't sound all that bad, to be honest. Like shower chair. It's for if you've got a broken leg and you've got to sit down in the shower. Comes in handy. Still waiting for that C1. 69.3. Right, hold on a sec. Let's all it goes up to. I think there's actually a way of actually tuning this to an exact. Let's go Dream Machine set fundamental. Oh, here we go. There you go. So that's it. It's that's an octave lower, there, isn't it? I suppose that'll do for a bass drone, but let's see what else we can do with this now anyway. That's the fundamental it's set. No idea what these do. But what I might be able to do... I should have brought the manual, shouldn't I? Or this is purely impromptu. But, you know, I could try just sticking some cables into the inputs and see what happens. Let's try that. Let's see what an LFO will do. Must have a spare one here somewhere. There we go. One left on you. It's alright, well, I think I'm sorted now. When I went into the settings of it, you can set the fundamental by note name, so sorted. First time I've used the Dream Machine. I reckon there's more to be gotten out of it than that. Do you know what? So I've got all my distings in use. Oh, apart from this one, I could use some. Do I want to use some LFOs in here? Let's have a look. Let's choose into dual mode. So. Let's make this algorithm B7, BCO. We'll make this B7 as well. Then just give me 2 more LFOs. Oops. Algorithm. Yeah. Come on, me special case. There you go. Okay. So I can take these right down so you can see them. I think you can go quite how far can we go? -16. And that's what I really like about these the Distinct digital oscillators, is that they're a VCO, but you can take them down into LFO range. Now then, so what was I going to do? I was going to put elements on, wasn't I? But I've not got it plugged in. Well, I've got it plugged in, but it's oh no, it's too complicated. So elements, you're out. But I suppose what I could do is leave these back up at. Just add some more channels and have them droning away, I guess. Let's tune it first. So tune mode, tune 1, then tune t'other. Doesn't actually sound very loud on my headphones, but it's getting right up there. Is it actually clipping? According to this, it's clipping a bit. Yeah, cheers, Mark. Yeah. Just an impromptu on this, like I said. But thanks. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, I've just dropped that down a bit because it was going on into the red. I'll probably be clipping. I'm getting better. Oh yeah, so let's set up another channel and read another track. Good night. I can't speak any language other than English. I'm not very good at that. So let's tune this. Let's turn it up a little bit. This doesn't have to be C, does it? We can make this a fifth, so make this G. And probably down an octave. And the same with the other one. Drop it down to G. And then I'll do the same again. I'll get one to FM the other. Then we can mess with the tuning a bit. Oh, that's interesting. Must be that one, mustn't it? So what shall I whack that into? Bit of wasp. Let's bring the resonance up on that wasp. Hi, RIP. Hello. This isn't Saturday. Well, I think the clue's in the title. Impromptu drone thing. I got a couple of new. I got some analog expert sleepers modules IP. I got the Lorelei oscillator, and I've got a couple of Ivo or Evo. I need to ask Oz how to pronounce that. Filters. So that's what I'm faffing around with at the minute. And I've added a couple of more layers to this. Whether I do anything with this at the end, I don't know yet. I'm gonna probably record it once I finish the live stream and then come back to it at a later date. So I'll tell you what I've not done. This is not, it's got no reverb. I've also got a bit of stereo delay on this now as well, with a bit of detune on it. Not much. Well, yeah, what can I say? It's weird, isn't it? Because I'm not playing anything, so it's hard to actually call it music of any sort, really, is it? When you're not actually playing an instrument. But I find this quite cathartic at times. Just building this sort of thing up and just seeing what happens. And this is only 4 channels at the minute. 4 tracks of audio. That all this is being merged into. But the question now is, so I've got a panel up here. Wait till the other camera comes on. Come on, GoPro. Yeah, there we go. So I've got one large 42 HP blank panel left. And I've also got some little blanks, little 1 HP blanks here and there. There's a couple of 1 HP blanks between the distings, just so that and I'll probably keep that because I like a little bit more room in between the knobs. And it'll hopefully try and keep the box cool as well. So I'm not going to bother closing those gaps up, but I need to just have a good think about what I put in the final 42 HP. Yeah, I'm playing the patch really, aren't I? Might be playing the patch. It's a different skill set that's, that some people would not even want to contemplate. They can do sweet plucking shredding on a guitar and sound fantastic, but you give them a few wires in this box and it's like, oh no thanks. So just a different skill set, isn't it really? But yeah, 42 HP. I mean, it sounds a lot, that, but we're only talking another 1, 2, 3, 4, probably another 4 or 5 modules of a similar size to where I've been getting the. So they're about 8 HP thereabouts. Yeah. I mean, I probably need another LFO. Probably a quad LFO would be good if I can find a quad LFO in just one module. And then I don't know. I've probably got enough oscillators now. I mean, I've still got 2 that's not being used. I've got the 2 HP oscillator that's not being used at the minute, and I've also got the other dope for A1101 not being used. Yeah. So LFOs, probably I'll probably stick to the utilities. A couple of the modules that I got on top of the expert sleepers stuff was I wanted some more offset attenuators. So they come in really handy if a particular module doesn't come with its own attenuators. You can use it's a dope for A183-2. It's called an offset attenuator. So you can offset the voltage, and then you can also attenuate the range that the voltage, so whatever voltage is coming in. So if you've got like an LFO coming into it, you can attenuate that rate, the depth of the LFO basically. And then if you don't like where it's sitting, in the minus, wherever it is, -5, +5, whatever, you can attenuate it, and then you can move that range up and down anywhere between the -5 and +5. So they're quite a handy little module to have, really. Yeah, I've still got it. It's it's down there. I've not dropped it. I just need to get back onto that little project. In fact, there's a shelf that will remain off camera that's normally quite clear, and it's a complete mess because of that thing, because I brought a load of stuff out the shed, stuff to sort of screw onto it. But what I need to do with that anyway is I need to actually glue the. I'm going to use 2 piezo mics inside the lid, and I'm going to use 2 outputs that accept 3.5 milli jacks instead of the 1/4 inch or the 6 milli jacks, so that I'll be able to go in through this route instead of losing some inputs on my audio auto capture card thingies. So I've got plans for it. I'm just not yet. I need to do other things first. Busy at work as well at the minute. So yeah. What if I try to? Yeah, let's try one more. Let's take the sign out of here. I don't know what this is tuned to, but it should just see how this turns out. So that'll probably go a bit mad now. So I've put my second Dope for VCO sign into the FM of the second Distinguee X thingy. So that's currently running in, instead of running in single mode, it's running in dual mode. So I'm basically treating, so the Distinguee X is also 2 Mark IVs in the same box. So if you imagine splitting it down the middle, that's one Mark IV, that's the other Mark IV. Yeah. I've got some more LFOs. I've got some LFOs on my PAMs. So let's drive something mad. I can always unplug it if it's no good. Let's just put something into pitch CV, the second one. Yeah, go for it, Klaus. I don't want to do anything like. I mean, I like the love the look of both Camerons, Venus Theory and Dash. I like the box that they made. For me, the Dash box is. It's kind of a little. It looks too good. I don't want to screw anything into it. So if I had something like what Dash has done, it just looks a bit too posh. So I want to keep mine kind of open to continuous adjustment, so I can screw something in and then unscrew something, put something else on it. So yeah. Let's see. Let's try. Well, I've still got cables left. I've just generated some more LFOs. I'm just looking at the speed. That one there on PAMS, and we'll put that into the wasp filter. So like a lot of the filters, you can put an LFO straight into the frequency adjustment, or a lot of them have like a second CV input which is attenuated, so it's not actually, you can just hear that coming in. I'll shut up for a minute. Let's just be quiet and let's have a listen to what I've got here now for a couple of minutes. You carry on chatting, of course. Don't Hey, you can talk about anything in my chat, Milo. Anything at all. I really don't mind at all. It's part of the fun, isn't it? Part of the little mini synchrotron community. I'll probably call this quits at an hour. So we're at 45 minutes. I could probably just call it quits now, to be honest, but let's see if I can add something else. Let's add a track 5. Probably a bit of white noise, actually. Thanks, Martin. So let's have another one. Do we need to tune it? I don't know. Not going to do or not, to be honest. But I'll take... I've got another filter that's got 2 inputs. Let's have a look. I could always mix, I guess. I'm not sure whether you can input more than one. It's the A1011 has got 3 inputs, but I think you can only use one at a time. So the one cancels out the other in the order of low pass, band pass, and high pass. Audio in. That's why I've got one audio in. So is that. But I could. Well, I suppose I could just. Let's put some white noise in somewhere. Let's see what happens. Oops. Put it in the LP. And then let's take the. I do have some more cables left. So that should be some white noise. There you go. Actually, what I could do, I could use the sequencer to use the pitch to modulate the frequency level on the filter. So let's just take that. So that's okay. Let's change that to internal and just double check the BPM. Take it up to 80 because that's what the project's on as usual. Yeah. So let's see what that does. Might need a longer cable now. Onto my Dolphus. So which one's the pitch? I can't read. Who thought playing a modular in darkness was a good idea? What I could do is let's put that into what? Found a bit. Hey, Jax. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in, mate. Well, I wasn't going to be here for much longer. What time are we on now? About another 10 minutes, which is probably enough for this stuff, isn't it? Let's face it. So what I was trying to do there was use pitch on the CV, but I want it to have an actual. To ping it, don't I, really? Let's see if I can make that short. Let's try that. Oh no, that just changes the pitch, doesn't it? Bear with me. So I could put that into one of my other. Oh, yeah. into, let's put it into me, into the, so signal in. In fact, I could use a shorter cable for that. So I'm using a VCA, of course. Why didn't I think of that before? And then take the signal out with the VCA, put that into my, obviously that'll be nothing at the moment, because what I need to do now is send the gate to an envelope generator, and then send that to one of the CBNs of the voltage controlled amp. Not quite what I thought it'd be. But just looking behind the levels. Yeah, I think you're right. IP. And I mean, the good thing about recording it as well, I can still add more layers afterwards. I can mix it more, so if I'm not happy with some of the levels, I can just change the levels a little bit more, probably add some more effects, probably delete some stuff because I didn't like it. So yeah, it's always worth recording, and I've got a couple of these now, so after my streams, although I'm not actually making any music at the minute, because I've been doing quite a bit of coding for Reaper, that Reaper effect for controlling the Distinct EX. But for some of my live streams, I've just recorded, a 10 minutes worth at the end when everyone's logged off, and before I log off for the day, to go and do some real life stuff. I just record 10 or 20 minutes of it, and they're just sitting there now, ready for me to go back. No, to be honest, I don't, Milo. I don't at all. It's hard to explain, I guess. One thing that this kind of modular setup does is it moves you away from that saved preset mentality, and that's not, and we've discussed this at length in other chats. It's not that I'm against presets as such, but sometimes I think that relying on presets, so like saving a preset. Well, I think an example for me is this. So I might actually save a preset for a project, but because of the way on soft synths in the box, you actually don't have to save a preset, because the state of that plugin, wherever it is, whether it's a sampler, whether it's an analog emulator, or wherever it is, those settings are saved. The state is saved in that plugin for that project. So what I don't do is I don't then... Hi Nigel. Cheers mate. Yeah, even on soft synths, I never go, oh, I'll save that preset because I want to use it in another project. I've never done that, because one of my principles, I guess, if that's the right word, I'm not sure, but one of my principles is that once I've done something, I try not to do it again. Now, in a way, that's a load of bollocks, because a lot of my stuff is simple. So if I've got a pluck sound, if you hear any of my tracks, you'll probably go, oh, well, that pluck sound was the same as this pluck sound, and you would be right. But I don't use a preset for it. I will just create the pluck sound on the day, and it may well be the same as previous pluck sounds, because it's just a pluck sound. So yeah, so even with soft synths, I don't rely so much on presets except, so I will use presets as a starting point if I think it's sort of inspiring something in my head, because I'm inspired by sounds. Unfortunately, I'm not inspired by emotions or things that I see, which when you see people in either Discord chats or on YouTube chats, so many people are inspired by what they see. So like a landscape, or the night sky, or they'll even imagine something and they'll be inspired by what they imagine. I'm just, my only inspiration is sounds. Always has been since I was about 3. I'll tell a very short story. I mean, so I don't know how old I was. I used to have this rocking horse that wasn't a traditional rocking horse in that it was on rockers, like curved rockers, each leg of the horse was connected to a frame by a spring. And my mum and dad used to tell me that I used to go mad on this thing, bouncing it around, it'd be leaving the floor. But the thing that I remember most about that rocking horse was the springs. And I could put my cheekbone against the frame. I remember doing this. I could put my cheekbone against the frame and then tap the frame or tap the springs. And I used to love that. Well, what must have been a bit of a reverb thing going on because there were springs. But it's really weird that sometimes I can't remember what I had for tea yesterday. But I remember that particular instance when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, of being interested in hearing this sound of my rocking horse spring against my cheekbone. Weird. Yeah. Perhaps not such a short story. Yeah. Yeah, ephemeral. So I'm a bit dumb, me, but ephemeral, is that sort of like it's in the moment, it's a fleeting sort of thing. I need to look up what ephemeral means. I've obviously heard the word, but my vocabulary is limited to a lot of 4-letter words, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm just playing with this sequence. So as I increase the pitch on the Metropolis, I'm using the pitch from the Metropolis to open the filter of me filter, the cut-off frequency. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point, Nigel. And that's another property of modular that some of us don't take enough advantage of, is the fact that you can put any cable into any hole pretty much, and most modules are protected from getting blown up by putting the wrong voltage into somewhere else. But yeah, the whole idea of modular is supposed to be that because of its modular nature, you can put anything anywhere. Yeah. I don't want to have been doing this actually if it wasn't for my lad pushing me a little bit. One year we watched that I Dream of Wires together, and he said, I don't know what he said, but he must have been like saying, this is better than what you do with software. Why don't you do some of this? Yeah, and then what, 5-6 years down the line, yeah. And there's some of these modules that I mean, there's too much here, really, I guess. But they're there to be used. So one day I need to spend more time. I mean, for instance, I don't know whether this is just one module here. It's a massive module. It's the A143-1 Complex Envelope Generator stroke LFO. I was that underwhelmed when I first got it. Hey up! Wow! Hey up, Pat. I didn't see you sneak in there. Jesus. Stay ashore. Wow. That's it. I can die and go to heaven. Cheers, mate. Thanks for joining. Yeah, a lot of distings. Me latest ones, Pat. I bought the other day at the weekend. I bought a Lorelei oscillator from Expert Sleepers and a couple of the Ivo filters. So that's what's kind of set this thing off when I started this live stream just over an hour ago now, I reckon. What's a look? Yeah, an hour and 10. And I wasn't going to stream tonight. It's just one of those. Yeah, you are sneaky. Yeah, yeah. It's just one of those. It's like one of those you do, Pat, where you just suddenly go, you know, I'm going to stream this. Balls to it. And I just thought, yeah. Although I had a bit of a nightmare before I started because my D700 had stopped working. It said error on it. I had to sort that out first. But yeah. Yeah, the thing with the distings, Nigel, I only use a fraction of them. I mean, like the first 4 distings, so that's my 2 Mark IIIs and my 2 Mark IVs, they have been constantly in oscillator mode for God knows how long. I have used the quantizer. It's got a good quantizer algorithm that I like to use. But the Mark IIIs are that much of a pain to remember how to get to the next algorithm and try something, because you're going off these array of dots basically, that it doesn't lend itself in my brain to me using the full range of functions that are in it. So now, although the Mark IVs have got a much better display, because I don't use it that often, I've got to keep looking at the manual to go, well, how do I change that? How do I get the next algorithm? So those, I reckon those are going to be stuck. So I'm going to have the Mark III, the 2 Mark IIIs. I'm going to have those on 4C, which is the VCO with FM. The 2 Mark IVs will be on the B8 algorithm, which is the VCO with wave shape. And then my Disting EX, they're the ones that I'm going to start using more now that I've got the oh hey Alex, thank you for passing through and saying hello, mate. Thank you very much. At least with the Disting, you've got a menu that you can read, albeit it's a bit small. Some guys on the Modwiggler website, they've been making up enlarged screen displays for the Disting EXs. But I'm okay, I think. I was thinking of doing the same, but I don't want to use up any real estate in my case. So I'm just going to manage with the displays as they are, and because I've got the I've got two effects now, two plugins in Reaper. One controls the poly wavetable algorithm, and the other one controls the resonator algorithm. And I'm not really interested in plaits and braids, so the Disting EX now is an implementation of both plaits and braids. I had a play with them the other night, and I wasn't at all impressed. I'm happy with my other oscillators and stuff, with my elements, or the poly wavetable, or the resonator. So I'm probably not going to bother with the with plaits and braids. The other interesting algorithms in here. I say interesting. I'm not really. I don't do looping, so I'm not going to use the looping algorithm. I don't do tracking, so I'm not going to use the tracker algorithm. So there's, to be honest, there's not a lot of dual mode algorithms that I'm interested in. Yeah, so there you go. Sorry, Nigel. When you say JSFX, you mean those things that I've been writing? I don't really. Have you seen the latest videos that I did where it's those black plugins that I've done with the poly wavetable? I can't remember. Yes, I have done those, obviously, but I've not shown off the resonator one yet. But yeah, they are JSFX, yeah, which can be used in Bitwig as well, but I don't use Bitwig, so. Well, that's flown by, hasn't it? 9:30 here now. Early morning start again for me. So what can I say? Pretty damn good impromptu stream with the amount of people that's turned up. I'm amazed. Yeah, so I think I'll log off now. Cheers, mate. Yeah, that was a great film, that, wasn't it? That's where the Krell patch comes from, isn't it? That Forbidden Planet, I think it is anyway. Yeah, I should get off now, and then I'm going to spend the next, once I've logged off from the live stream, I'll record 10 or 15 minutes of this, and then come back to it at some point. Probably do a live stream where I finish the track off. It is a great movie, yeah. I've not seen it for years, but it is one of my faves. So, yeah, thank you very much to everybody that's turned in today. You made me day. And I hope it hasn't been too disruptive with me bad audio, because I have had some bad streams, haven't I, audio wise, but I think I'm hoping I've got this lav mic sussed out now, and I've just about got me Reaper levels. I think they're going into the red again now, so I should have kept my eye on that and reduced the levels. I've added more tracks, I should have brought the level down, but yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Merci beaucoup, Jax, Nigel, Klaus, Milo, IP, Pat, Martin, Will, Nigel, Davy, Alex, even Martin. I'm going to say Martin, Klaus, of course. Yeah, Just going down the chat or up the chat. Right, let's see if I can do a controlled outro. I'll take a bow when the camera comes round. It's yeah. I forgot to turn that camera off. You know, the switching cameras. What a plonker. There's always something, isn't there? So I'll say ta again. Oh dear.